Dance Dancers and Theater Heroes. Okay, so you come here to the channel, you're learning a bunch of stuff, and then you're gonna go out, hopefully, to the dance hall, you're gonna dance and stuff with people, and then none of that stuff is actually gonna work, right?
Yes.
So we've all run into this. Here's what we're covering on this video. We're covering how to dance great with bad dancers. So stick around. So we kind of did like this really cool thing. Like we taught a couple classes in person, and we actually just started the class by asking people like, what are your biggest challenges?
We just let people rant and give us their biggest issues, and we took a list, we compiled it, and we took the top 5 issues that people had, the most common things.
Yeah, so like if you're out dancing and you're dancing with somebody who's a bad dancer, like what are the biggest problems you run into? So we compiled it into a list, and what are the most common things we get? And these are the things we're covering today. We're gonna cover the 5 most common problems you guys have with dancing with bad dancers, starting with number 5. All right, coming in number 5 is something we've probably all run into, right? This is something a lot of people have said. Like, so he leads her through a turn, and he wants her to turn one direction, but she just goes the other way, right?
Whose fault is this?
So,
whose fault is it?
Yeah, how do we communicate better for her to turn the right way, and how does she know which direction he wants her to go?
How can we make up for it?
So guys, I'm gonna show you this little tip from this angle. Number 1, if my hand comes up, obviously she's probably gonna turn, but how do I let her know which direction she's gonna turn, right? Here's one little trick that is helpful from both sides. If my hand comes up and my fingertips are pointing outwards, that's an outside turn. But if my hand comes up and my fingertips are pointing inwards, that's an inside turn. I mean, think about this for a second. If my hand is like this, I can't turn her inwards. If it's like this, I can't turn her that way. So she can like pay attention like which direction. It's like a turn signal.
Yes,
right?
There you go, of sorts.
All right guys, number 4 is the leader is too rough. He's too forceful. He's like trying to shove her through things. And I can promise you this, guys, I'll talk to you first. She doesn't like that, right? Your job is to ask her to do stuff, not make her do stuff.
A gentle man is what we like.
Right. But what happens, followers? You're dancing with somebody and he is being too rough. How do you overcome that? I mean, there's little things like you could just take your dance frame and be a little bit more solid
just walk
with
away.
it. You could just say, I'm peace out, I'm done, whatever. Yeah. But if you do want to dance with this person again, it is perfectly acceptable socially to let them know. Like, tell them, especially if they're being too forceful and it could cause injury or pain. Like it's, hey, you can just be a little bit lighter there and make a joke out of it. Like,
just love me, I'm a delicate flower.
I'm a delicate flower and sensitive. Guys, if you've been around here on the channel for a while, you probably noticed like for the last few months, we haven't been posting a lot of videos. We've gotten so many comments, so many questions like, are you guys still together? Is everything okay? Or you get divorced? I mean, is Rose available? I mean, like, what's happening? But we've actually been really, really hard at work on stuff that you can't see. And now's the time. We're actually getting ready to tell you guys and release it to the world. We wanted you guys to hear it first. X Dance TV, completely different. It is the biggest, craziest thing we have ever done, and we're so excited. Literally for like 12 to 16 hours a day for the last 3 months, it is all we've worked on. So we can't wait to show you guys. Click that link right there, check that out. All right guys, number 3 is that she's back leading. She's just like doing stuff, right?
This is the number 1 thing that I get as a female instructor with my students is they're like, how do I make this stop? There's a lot that goes on.
I mean, the truth is you just can't. Like on a social situation, you're dancing with somebody who doesn't know, she's trying to do her own thing. So we can give you a couple tips. From a leader's point of view, like if it's something that you normally practice with, this is a little drill. Just stand here with a partner, have her close her eyes, and then don't do a dance. Just lead around so you get like familiar with communicating. She has no idea what it is, and it's forcing her to actually follow, and it's gonna help him to actually communicate. She hates it when I say this, but it's like he's the puppeteer and she's the puppet. Like you've got to navigate her, right? So I'm always gonna come back. If she's doing stuff, it's probably because she's not communicating, right?
And from a follower's perspective, it's usually because the follower's really tense and nervous and trying to follow well, and you're trying a little too hard and you're kind of just assuming certain things, right? So just relax, breathe, it's gonna be okay, and really lean into his lead and what he's asking you to do, even if he's not a good lead, which is the hardest part. I feel you. It's mostly his fault, right? But we want to humor him and follow his lead.
She says you want to humor him. I'm thinking about to our relationship now. I'm thinking about to all the times when she's said certain sweet things to me. Right?
Exactly.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you for number 2, like I'm gonna say the thing and you're like, yeah, I know that. Like we're all gonna
relate. It's gonna be a beautiful moment.
My partner's off time. They're not dancing to music. And I'll be honest, this is one of the hardest things to fix because like how do you teach somebody to listen to music better, right?
Just get with it.
Teach them steps all day long. But what do we do with it if we're dancing socially and our partner's just off time, okay? The first thing I'm gonna say is whose job is it to be on time with music?
Unfortunately,
yeah,
ladies,
followers are not gonna like this.
Even if he's dancing off time, even if it stinks, even if he's doing an Irish jig. Guess what you're doing? An Irish jig.
Followers, you don't dance to music. You dance to stay in sync with the leader, and hopefully the leader's dancing to music. Leaders, you stay connected to the music, preferably, and followers, you stay connected to him. But here's the problem. A lot of times when somebody's off time with the music, it's the leader, right? But followers, it is your job to stay in sync with him, even when he's off time with the music. Because if you're on time with the music and he's off, it's not going to work. Right?
One tip I would also say is really work on the connection in your frame, not so much thinking about the feet, because she cannot follow your feet leads. So if you're stepping and she can't feel you, really focus on your frame, focus on how she can feel you a little bit more instead of just focusing on making your footwork better or on time.
Guys, the #1 challenge to dancing with bad dancers socially is something that it's kind of almost hard to define. So we hear a lot of symptoms of it, it feels disjointed,
no
we're too
one can
close.
Diagnose it though.
We're bumping into each other. I mean, there's one cause for a whole bunch of problems. So that's why we put this one #1, because this one thing causes a lot of problems, but fixing this thing can fix a lot of problems.
The treatment.
And that one thing we call alignments. Now, we talked about it on this channel. We actually did a video. That video right there is a full breakdown. We don't have enough time to fully cover that in this video, but that video, guarantee if you watch that and implement that stuff, your dancing will change forever with good dancers and bad ones. We'll see you guys in the next video.
All right. He's back.
All right, high five.